There are 4 games to be played in Serie A, and I'm asking you in the comment section to tell me on 12 available points, how many will Juventus do? Will it be 0? Will it be 3? Will it be 6? Will it be 12? Let me know, because now we start the video. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I start wishing you a beautiful Monday, a beautiful week. But to our Bianconeri, to our boys, to the players, to the team, to the management, to everyone, I wish a spectacular end of the week. Why? Because at 11 p.m. on Sunday, closing the week, 1 hour before midnight, we can potentially be mathematically in Champions League if we beat Roma. I saw a lot of calculation online. I will give you the detail. What are the different scenarios? Winning, losing, drawing. I will tell you how many points we need. But much more, because we'll speak about the future of Max Allegri. We'll also speak about a name, a Mercato name, that is controversial. He was there on Gazzetta dello Sport, always somewhere in a corner. This time, they dedicated a full page to him. So maximum of like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's try to reach these 30,000 Juventini before the end of the season, so that we can start the new season with the number 3 in front of the channel. 3, that means, I repeat it, 3 points. That can be maybe a beautiful sign for the next season. We start with the title of Corriere dello Sport, because I'm telling you that we can possibly qualify to Champions League already at the end of this week. But Corriere is going with I Fantastici Cinque, the Fantastic 5. What are they referring to? Well, looking at the result of yesterday and the new ranking, there are still 5 teams that can compete for 3 spots, because Inter and Milan mathematically already qualified to Champions League. So Juventus, Bologna, Roma, Atalanta, and even Lazio. Why? Because of the result of yesterday, for the people that missed them. We know that Juve and Milan, they drew 0-0. Lazio won 1-0 against Verona. Inter won against Torino. Who cares? Bologna 1-1 against Udinese. Not a great Bologna, by the way. A great Napoli doing 2-2 against Roma, and that's an important one. Atalanta continue to win 2-0 against Empoli. These new results, they give us a new scenario in that ranking. And I will tell you, taking into account all the possible games that needs to be played, like Roma-Juve, like Atalanta-Roma, what are the scenarios? I already told you on the channel we became doctors, we became lawyers, we became everything. Now we need to become mathematicians. We need to be the one that are able to predict what can happen thanks to numbers. Well, there are a few scenarios possible, starting from this weekend. Let's start with the worst case scenario. We lose against Roma on Sunday. We lose. Let's say. Well, if Atalanta and Roma, they continue to have full points until the end of the season, but they have to play against each other the week after, and Roma wins, it means that Roma goes at a full potential at 71 points. Atalanta can go, if they lose against Roma, at 69 points. Means that Juventus, to enter the top 5, they need 5 points from now. We have 65, we need to go at 70, going over Atalanta. And that's the worst case scenario. There is another scenario. Atalanta and Roma, they draw against each other. We lose against Roma. After that, they go at full potential. That means that Atalanta will go at 71. Roma 69. Juventus still need 5 points to go over this time. Not Atalanta, but Roma. Which we have Atalanta 71, 70 for Juve, 69 for Roma. The other case, Juve still lose against Roma next week, but it's Atalanta that wins the week after against Roma. What do Juventus need to do? 4 points in that case, in the 3 remaining games. Atalanta 72, Juventus with 4 points can go at 69, which would be 1 more point than Roma. And these are the 3 scenarios if we lose against Roma, which hopefully doesn't happen. But you have a good news. If Juventus is able to beat Roma on Sunday, it's already mathematically that we qualify. Even if we lose the other 3 games. For what reason? Because with 3 points, we reach 68. Roma, they can go, whatever the result, even if they beat Atalanta, at the max of 68. Which means 68-68, because we won twice against Roma, home and away, we have that benefit of the scontri diretti. That's what you say, the head-to-head in Italian. So winning against Roma, hopefully they understood it, because it is a match ball. The game against Roma in their home in l'Olimpico is a match ball. Against the Roma that yesterday suffered against Napoli, but thanks to that grinta, thanks to the goal of Abraham, they were able to keep the dream alive. Roma that will play midweek against Leverkusen. De Rossi continues after the game. He said that we want to win that cup, but we also want to qualify to Champions League. So I can tell you that they will have that extra boost of energy. And pay attention to one man, of course. San Paolo, because that's how they called him today in Il Romanista. That is a paper that we don't speak a lot about in this channel, but it's the paper of Roma, dedicated 100% on Roma, with a picture of Paulo Dybala and Tammy Abraham. San Paolo, he never scored against Juventus. One day he gave an assist against Juve, but he never scored against Juventus. Of course he will score. Of course he will score. Of course he will score, and will probably give that victory to Roma, keeping their dream alive. And for us, if that happens, well, it will be suffering. Even needing 5 or 4 points, if we lose against Roma, it will be suffering, because then we have 3 games. Salernitana, Bologna, Monza. If we see the state of our team, well, it will be tough. It will be extremely tough. And we will need a great Dusan Vlahovic, because the game already against Roma, and maybe the other ones, if we don't win, well, they will be super stressful. Mentally, it will be crazy. It will be illness. Because more we don't win, more we start to be scared. More that stress level of qualifying, obligation to qualify to Champions League will arrive in the head of the player. And we know that the Dusan Vlahovic, when he's under pressure, something that he worked on, he improved. It's not 100% yet healthy. He didn't manage. It's not 100% at maturity. So we'll need a huge, big Dusan Vlahovic in that game of Roma. Hopefully he can solve it. He already did it with a fantastic free kick a few seasons ago. I believe 1 or 2 seasons ago. He needs to do it again. Speaking about ex-Juve player, because we spoke about Paulo Dybala, let's speak about Juan Cuadrado. Fast. Look, yesterday they won. They made the celebration in Milano with a lot of Interisti. They were the chance. Whoever doesn't jump is a Juventino. Chi non salta Juventino è. We all know that. And Cuadrado went in that balcony and he was jumping. Now, I don't want to give too much information about that or too much opinion. Just one thing. When you're talking, especially younger people, about who is a legend, who is not a legend of Juventus, who should we consider a legend of Juventus or not, take my advice. Before considering people or putting them even in debate of being legends of Juventus, wait. Wait until they retire, and then we can speak about it. Because meanwhile, they are still playing. They can, every time they can go to other clubs. Wait. And sometimes even retiring, it's not over, because we saw Juventini retiring, or players from other teams retiring, and after they come back with words that are not always appreciated. So legendary status, we should start to minimize it and not spreading it and sharing it to everyone. That's my opinion about that. Then I want to come back on that guard of honor. I don't know, when yesterday Torino players were side to side with Inter that were going through. Something that is happening in everywhere in Europe. And I think it's why not? Why not? I'm not against it. I'm not in favor of it. I don't care about it. But I think it's important to have consistency in what you are doing. If you are doing it, you need to do it for everyone. And what annoys me and a lot of Juventini is that these kind of things, suddenly they started to happen when Juventus stopped winning. I can tell you, try to find me an Italian team that did the guard of honor for Juventus in these 9 years. Whatever cup we are winning, you will not find any. There is no, because nobody did it. And that's what is annoying. When I'm telling you Juventus is the most hated team on earth, well, we can see it in these kind of things. People are angry with Juventus, that is called sometimes Congratulation FC, because Juventus, they congratulate the team that win or the Scudetto, or that wins a cup or whatever. We are fast in congratulating the other ones. Well, go back to Supercoppa, I believe, that Napoli won in COVID time. There was not the big organization, Federazione Italiana Gioco Calcio, with the president that was giving the medals, because it was COVID and the protocol was saying you remain with your team. So the winning team will be rewarded by their own president. De Laurentiis was there because Napoli won against Juve. I just want to remind a lot of people that Agnelli, he said, I don't care about the protocol. I will go down. I want also to give the medals to Napoli. I prefer, whatever you can say about Agnelli, whatever you can say about Juventus, I prefer these kind of images than a fake hypocrite guard of honor when Juventus doesn't win. And I hope that next year, it will probably not happen, but I hope that Juventus can win so that we can see which team, except of Pescara, that is the only one, will do a guard of honor, a beautiful message, or to also say congratulations to you. Anyway, let's go back to our beautiful Juventus. La melina Juve sul futuro Max agita gli animi. Long title, I will try to explain you in a few words. Juventus at the moment is frozen. There is that -5 games that we need to play, 4 in Serie A and that Coppa Italia, -5 points regardless, let's say we don't win against Roma, 5 points to mathematically qualify to Champions League. We are frozen. We can't move on a lot of things. On making public the future of Max Allegri, on making public some renewals of contract, to continue some renewals of contract, to go on the transfer market. At the moment, Juventus is waiting. Management is also, like you, like me, a bit fearing that the players they have that hit a knock in not doing beautiful results, because we are in a really, really bad moment. 13 points in 13 games. We lost also that semi-final second leg against Lazio. They're a bit scared that losing against Roma can possibly negative impact the head and the mental of all the players that probably will not have the legs, the energy, the mental, the heart to do it at the end. So at the moment, Juventus is frozen, and that's why if we are able already to win against Roma, the importance of that game is crazy. Then everyone can do what they need to do. The management, the technical staff, the players, everyone. Instead of being a bit in that limbo of I don't know what can happen. Max Allegri are speaking about him in Tuttosport, on Gazzetta dello Sport, in Corriere dello Sport, everywhere. Well, looks like that Tuttosport is saying Allegri has one mission. He's going straight towards his objective. He's only thinking about the results. But then you have the version about Gazzetta that is saying Allegri e la Juve, Champions vicina, ma il futuro resta un rebus. Allegri and Juventus, Champions really close. I think that some stats gave like 99.3 or 97.3% of qualification to the Champions League, but the future remains a big question mark, a puzzle, a rebus. Tuttosport opening with fino alla fine, until the end della stagione, of the season, with a picture of Max. And that's what we are going towards, guys, until the end of the season. Guys, there is no other way. I think it's clear for everyone when you're looking at the non-verbal behavior of Max Allegri, but recently also to the verbal things that he's saying. When you're hearing the management, when you see the behavior of the management, trying already to start initiating the calcio mercato to understand a bit without involving the coach, you can really see it. You hear it. Also the rumors about already the name of Thiago Motta that can possibly be the new coach. If you are listening to the journalists that are really close to Max Allegri, Di Marzio, Sabatini, Balzarini, all these expert journalists that are really close in the atmosphere Max Allegri, they are all going towards he will not be there. There is only one that is resisting, and it is Galeone, the mentor, the good friend of Max Allegri, that spoke again today on Gazzetta dello Sport saying, Max gone? Why? He's going towards reaching the objectives. And that's where I want to give my opinion before speaking about the last topic that will be a Mercato name. Look, I have always told you, according to me, as a winner, I want to win. I'm someone that is looking first in priority to the result and then the how. Always. First the result, then how we are achieving that result. You know it, huh? I'm celebrating a 1-0 win with an auto goal of the other team before starting to be critic, before starting to be harsh in what we could improve. But the first thing when I'm opening the channel, when we win, I have a smile. While when we lose, even if we play the most spectacular game ever, I start being pissed off, and then we go towards, but we did this and this and this well. I asked one thing this season. I asked to fight until the end for the Scudetto. I didn't ask to win it. Of course, I wanted to win it. But I asked to fight until the end, to show that we are there with that fighting spirit, that we can go a lot, which we didn't do. Because since the 27th of January, we collapsed and we gave up. which already I can't qualify this season of a success. Qualifying to Champions League or not, winning the Coppa Italia or not, because the only request I had was not satisfied. Now, speaking about the future of Max Allegri, when we are speaking about the words of Galeone that is saying, yes, he's there, he will reach the objectives of going into the final of Coppa Italia, maybe winning it, he will qualify to Champions League, which means there is no reason to stop. And no, because there is way and way. There is way and there is way. Now we are not even speaking about the how you compete until the end for the Scudetto. Now we are saying the how we are competing to reach qualification to Champions League with 46 points done. And according to me, too much for the value of the team, for the value of what we had, for the Mercato that we did, for the possibilities that we had. Too much, but we did them. But for the return games with only 22 points did now, where we are not able to win, where we are breaking negative record to negative record. So the how has also an importance. The how has especially an importance about how we arrived there. And that's, according to me, something that you need really to take into consideration. More than the other seasons, even more than the other season, the how that we reach them. Because we are here depending on the results of the other ones. I'm not someone that loves to become a mathematician looking at the prediction of how many points we need to qualify. I hate it. I hate it. Losing 45 minutes to look at all the combos. I hate it. And I'm obliged to do it. And it could have been maybe even fun if we were talking about winning a Scudetto. Now we are speaking about qualifying to Champions League in the 5th spot. And that's a tough one. That's a hard one. We finish with the last topic, that is the name on Gazzetta dello Sport. I already told you, controversial name. Controversial name. He was always there in the middle of a text. A little picture in a corner. This time Gazzetta dello Sport, they put him in big. On Gazzetta dello Sport, inside, not on the front page. He's shining at Getafe. Juventus is insisting. A lot of quality and a good price. They are speaking about Greenwood. That is there in the middle for a lot of reasons. According to Marco Guidi, journalist of Gazzetta dello Sport, Juventus want to go for him. For what reason? Because he can play as a second striker. He can play on the right side of the field, what he did yesterday, for example, with Getafe, scoring 2 goals and an assist. 10 goals already this season. He came back. From a sporting level, he's totally recuperated. With continuity, with way of playing, with beautiful playing. It's a really great player. We can't deny it. Then there is always the off-the-field topic that is a bit annoying. Not a bit annoying. It's a lot annoying. That's also why Manchester United, they don't want him back in their club, but also why they could sell him, or they will probably sell him, because he has a contract until 2025. Not a lot. Really short. They don't care that much about the value of the player because they want him gone. They know it. From a corporate point of view, from Manchester, it's a non-done. It's a no-go to have him back. So they look for some people that can sign him. They will probably sell him for cheap. Then you have a team that needs to go for him, looking at the sporting side and probably also looking at the topic and then putting everything in balance. What is most interesting for the team? Can we do it? Can we not doing? Look, I always told you I don't really believe in Greenwood, but when I see how Gazzetta dello Sport week after week after week is insisting and is making the player bigger and bigger and bigger in picture, in insistence and recurrency of the news, guys, I start really to believe there is something. I don't know. So let me know what you think. And if you didn't, then maybe I will ask it to again tomorrow, but tell me, in the next 4 games of Serie A, 12 points to go. How many points can Juventus do? Tell me. Grazie, forza. Juve.